All right, welcome to Tech University. Thanks for being on today. And we want to talk about, we have over 200 locations. I've been in the industry for over 15 years now. Kyle's been in the industry for over 5 years now. And we have a lot of knowledge behind not just the industry, but the business models and those kind of things. So we want to talk a little bit about success stories, but also non-success stories, if you will, about not just our brand, but anything in business, right? So, Techie's a franchise model, and we have the blueprint for success. And this is why we have over 200 locations all over the world. What can I do better? Or what are the steps I need to take? And what do I need to do? And what direction can I go? And so we want to talk a little bit about that today and what the blueprint that we put together for them, and talk about some of the success stories and maybe some stories that are not successful. And so maybe you can add some of those things to this video so people can kind of have an idea like what needs to happen in the direction they need to go.
No, absolutely. And I think at the end of the day, specifically our industry knowledge, right, is extensive, but we're kind of talking about business 101 and the fact of, I've been in franchising almost 10 plus years. I've had the opportunity to work with hundreds of entrepreneurs on their business, from everything from customer service, sales, marketing strategies, you name it. And I think it really boils down to what I have seen is the number one success factor or not is the level of engagement, right? As an owner, as a leader, how engaged are you with your business on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, right? And we've been able to look at successful owners, right? And the amount of revenue they've been able to generate and kind of correlate that to their level of engagement on how often do we see these individuals on our discussion boards, on our group chats, on our weekly videos, on these different types of things. And there is a direct correlation to the owners that are engaged and they're doing this on a daily and weekly basis. You do see their store numbers higher than somebody that may be kind of on an island, if you will. And I know that seems very basic, but it's true.
It's right? So true. And so, like, first thing I always say is you got to believe in the processes, believe in the steps. And if you do, the success will come. Now, you have to put in the work. It's not going to just come to you. Like, when you join a franchise, like, you got to put in the work. We're going to give you the blueprint to be successful. So let me give you a couple stories that we have here that I'm going to share with you guys, and maybe you could share a couple stories too as well. But let me talk about a positive story. So we had a store doing, let's call it $15,000 a month in sales, really hurting. His rent was $5,000. He's like, hey, how do I get out of this hole? How do I get out of this rut? And I'm like, we went to him and I said, look, you got to believe in the processes, believe in the steps. Here's everything that we have. And so we gave it all to him. We gave him everything that he needed. He was a future brand that we purchased, so they didn't have all the guidelines, but we gave him the guidelines. And not just last week, he bleeds into the system. He's involved in every discussion board. He's all into it. And just last week, he did $30,000 in sales, so he doubled his sales. And $4,000 came from a B2B opportunity, and we kept preaching B2B, 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 and he followed through with it, and now he's got another 4,000 coming the following week. So that alone really helped him understand these systems work if you just follow them, and so we're super excited to see that. Another conversation we had with another owner, we went out to the owner, and I had this car mount here in front of me. And so we went out, and he was open for 2 months, and I was like, hey, when was the last time you sold a card mount? And he was like, we haven't sold one. And I'm like, any particular reason why? And he's like, well, it just doesn't sell. So when I was there that day, we pretty much, every customer that came in, we said, hey, can I get you a car mount, headphones, Bluetooth speaker, anything that you may need? And that turned into 3 car mount sales that day. So when he saw that and heard that, he believed it even more. And now they're selling car mounts. And so it's just like these little things are so important that you understand that these are the reasons that these products are here. These are the reasons that we put these success guides in front of you. But you have to use them. You have to try them. And you will continue to be successful. So maybe there's a couple stories that you have that you could share.
Yeah, no, those are great examples, and there's a lot of different opportunities that we had. Like I said, we get to interact with entrepreneurs every single day, but I think what it really alludes to is we can certainly give recommendations and give advice based on experiences that we know that works, but it's up to the individual owner and store manager to actually implement those strategies and continue to work them and improve on them to make them successful, right? So there's that accountability factor from not only the owner all the way down to the technician, but taking these recommendations, and we hear Grant Cardone say this all the time, right? You can't drink the Kool-Aid. You got to swim in it. You got to be all in, both feet, dive in, cannonball in that thing, surround, immerse yourself with it, because that's what it takes to be successful in today's age, right? Especially when we're talking about marketing and growing a business. Everybody's fighting for attention. Everybody's fighting for that next sale. So we have to make sure that we have a diligent strategy and that we're moving forward. One of the things I always tell owners when there's really three things in my mind that really kind of deter an owner, right? And the very first one is they think there's an easier way. Guys, business is supposed to be hard. It's not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. There's a reason why every single person walking the face of the earth doesn't own their own business. Okay, so we understand that. And we have policies and procedures and things in place to help you get over those obstacles. But if you don't use them, you don't hold yourself accountable, you will find that success can be even more difficult, right? The other thing that we always see is the opportunity to be engaged. Guys that put themselves on islands, right? They don't reach out for assistance. They don't reach out for help. They'll reach out when it's too late, right? These individuals that you're discussing came to us and asked us for assistance. They heard us and they implemented what they heard and they got the results they were looking for, right? So we are here. We want to help each and every way we can. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to implement these strategies and make them successful inside your business.
Yeah, and I love that you talk about it on an island. I hear that all the time. Like we here at our franchise concept, like we don't want you to feel like that at all. Mm-hmm. I remember when we first started, we had one store. Mm-hmm. Nobody else was really fixing devices. That was an island. Right. Now we have over 450 team members all over the world. Like, leverage the people that are around you and network with them and talk to them, and you'll be surprised what's going to turn into. And so it's incredible to see when you start implementing these things and start just reaching out and saying, just a phone call, a text message, whatever it may be, where it will lead to. And, one of the craziest things to me is, like, we have over 200 franchise partners, and they're all like, oh, I don't call you because you're too busy, like, personally me. And I'm like, you'll be surprised. Like, my team gets more calls than I do. And I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, why am I not busy? Yep. And so, like, my phone is always open, especially for our partners and our team members, and you can always reach out. And so never hesitate to reach out. No question's a bad question. We've all heard that before. And so you have to ask good, bad, and hard questions, and we just got to continue to communicate and build that relationship, and the success will happen. So another quick little story that I have here. I had a store that was also not doing so well, and I got on a Zoom call with them, and look, they were capable of doing that, and I gave them everything that they needed implemented, and then I followed up in a day and said, are you implementing it? They said, no, I haven't got there yet. A week, have you implemented it? No, I haven't got there yet. A month, no, I haven't got there yet. And then it was to the point was like, look, then you know why you're not going to achieve success. You have to implement these steps, and if you don't, you're not going to be successful, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And those are some hard conversations to have sometimes, but like Kyle said, it really hones down to you. Are you going to put your all into this, and are you going to dive all in? Right. And that's the importance of business, right? You have to go all in, and you'll see the money follow. So.
Right. I mean, how committed are you to the success for not only yourself, for your investment that you made, but for your team as well?
Yeah.
Right. We talk about Techie 5 all the time. Have a plan. Yes. Right. And that's what we're really boiling this down to. Create a plan. Hold yourself accountable to it. I'm going to even say, I don't care what your plan is, but have one and be all in on it. Be 1,000% committed to that plan. Give it the time it needs to actually be successful and fruitful for your business. Don't give up after a week. Don't give up after 2. Don't give up after 90 days. It takes time to be successful. One of the great opportunities that I want to talk about is we have a brand new store. They're within their second month. They've achieved over $20,000 in revenue their first 2 months in business. Historically, we see that around month 6, yep. Right? Give or take. These individuals have been able to accomplish that their very first month in business, their second month in business, and it's truly a factor of how committed they were to their plan, to their process to grow their market and get involved in their business and drive sales, right? Building relationships, having a plan, executing, and following up is so critical, guys. And this stuff's here for you. We have training videos on TechEU. Obviously, we have one-on-one meets that you guys can come with us any time. But at the end of the day, you are the one that's going to put the work to the table and on the ground floor and grow your business. And we're here to support you along the way.
Yeah, we love it. And so, look, there's a lot of great content on TechEU for you guys to see. Follow Techie University. Check our YouTube channels out. There's so much good content on there. And you could always reach out to us or even comment below on these videos what you're struggling with. We'd love to share with you some of the stuff that we do and some of the success we get out of it. But besides that, thank you guys so much for showing up. And that's Techie University.
Thanks, guys.